busy schedule.
I wonder if I've got time to record that list about
transits. What's the moon doing?
Man, I gotta eat. That day I
spent a week. Next reading is last week.
Where are you?
Just real
Grab
life.
my water.
Hi,
It's Matilda. It's so nice
Just
to hear
getting
your
your chart
voice.
up.
Brings all the boys to the yard and they'd say it's better than yours. That's right, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I'd have to charge high.
Hey, that was so good. I have had a stupid amount of fun responding to the trolls this week.
Oh, yeah.
I have some banked.
Excellent.
They have been particularly vile.
Mm-hmm.
Fear brings out the worst in people.
Oh, yeah. Mars is definitely probing right up their Uranus.
Oh, and they can go and take their Uranus somewhere else.
Exactly.
They are not my people.
No, they're out.
I
They're out in droves.
I did make a comment. I think it was on one of my videos, and I just said, "You're not my people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're not the sort of person that I aspire to have either in my audience or as a client."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we get to choose. Oh, they have been vile.
That one that went at you for being a cartoon character, I had to comment. I was like, keep your inside thoughts inside, man.
Oh, yeah.
They sucked.
They do. And then they come back on an anonymous account and try it again. Because I block them as soon as I make a comment like that. You and I have both experienced extreme growth in the last 48 hours.
Yeah. Finally, I don't know about you, but I was freaking choked for 2 years.
I feel like I've been
2 years.
choked. Almost when I lost my old account, I had quite a significant amount of followers, and it's taken me 11 months to get to like 30,000, and now it's just gone up to 45, I think.
Keep growing,
and it'll keep growing, but just that prediction, that, because we both predicted the assassination attempt.
Yep.
And oh my God, people don't seem to understand how predictions are shown to you or to me.
No.
And for me, if I get a vision, all right, I don't know whether it's an arranged assassination or a staged assassination or a real one. I remember saying last year, I am seeing an assassination play out in front of me, or an assassination attempt, as if it is on television. Like I am watching it on television.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. And you were more precise about it, as in yours in 2022, saying that he would have an assassination attempt, whether somebody
arranged it or
he arranged it,
or somebody arranged it, or just somebody didn't like him would arrange it. There was definite threats. His solar return spoke to brushes with death, if not, whether it was illness related or enemies. And I think he still has more to come. I don't think that's the last. I
don't think it's the last either. And I made a video about that, but and unfortunately it's great to grow. It's lovely to grow. And a lot of people that do come to our pages say they love us. But fucking hell.
Okay, so it used to bother me a lot more back in like 2021, because I've been on TikTok since 2020. And I used to get really riled up. And now I use it as a way to entertain my followers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do exactly the same.
Yeah, just as a way, and just to, and I don't get trolled that much. Partly, I think the internet, actually, that's how I got my first 10,000 followers. Was within the first week, I had this kid decide to argue with me about whether astrology was real or not, and he went 50 comments and got me engagement. he was a physics student, and his professor told him astrology wasn't real. And I just kept responding, but did he study it?
Mm-hmm.
But did he study it?
Yeah.
And 50 times did I type back, did your professor study astrology? And that got me on the FYP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's, look, I do like playing with my trolls. And a lot of people, what I want to say is this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my followers will come out in support of me, and your followers
Absolutely.
will
they're
support
wonderful.
you. They're wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But don't tell us not to give the energy, because it's our entertainment and it's stress release.
We like to play with our food.
Yeah. We like to play with our food before we eat them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But yesterday I felt it. I don't know whether it was the energy. I was really down yesterday. I couldn't get out of this. I hate people.
Sorry. Well, it got really personal. Like, there's a difference
It
between, you know, like, that's what I noticed is it was less about the astrology, and it was more like, you know, your glasses are thick, you know.
That was horrible.
And I was like, okay, first of all, I'm almost 55 years old. As of next Sunday, I will be 55. Do you think it's the first time I've been called a four eyes?
Uh-huh.
You know,
it's just atrocious.
You know, but the other one who was like, told me to crawl under a rock, that it was a little more personal versus astrology isn't real, or Trump's going to win, or whatever. I don't care if the Trumpers come on. It is why I give my best predictions in my Patreon, though. Because if I'm going to get trolled, I'm going to get paid, man.
Absolutely. We get trolled so badly. My US predictions have been up since October.
Yep.
And they included a last-minute cancellation of an event in Vegas. Now, that's pretty specific, all right?
Yeah.
Problems with the dam. There was a lots in there, and there's also ones around the election. Okay,
right.
Those ones haven't played out yet, but most of them have. And Texas, storms in Texas that were quite horrific.
Yep.
Which isn't a normal.
Yeah,
thing,
some of those snowstorms weren't typical. Yeah,
yeah. Some dickwad comes on. And he goes, these are pretty standard predictions. I could predict those.
Then go do it, motherfucker.
Yeah. And
have the balls to create an account.
Yeah.
Put your reputation on the line and show the fuck up.
Yeah.
I want to beat those people some days.
I want to
I'm not
beat
going
them,
to. Don't resort to violence, people.
Don't resort to violence. But also the ones that come into our page that are psychic mediums and then try and predict. Go fucking set up your own page.
I delete them. I delete their comments. Yeah. I ban them because it is rude.
It is.
I do that with astrologers.
Rude.
I do it with psychics. I don't want your predictions on my page. Go do your own social media. And if you're not getting traction, then start studying how to make videos that get traction, because there's techniques.
It is rude.
It's very rude.
It is damn rude, and it really irritates me. And it's not that we don't want to support other people, because you and I both support other people.
Absolutely.
But there is a time and a place, and I could have, and the other people, I could have predicted that Trump would be assassinated. Yeah, we actually, do you know what? We all could have. But did you make the prediction?
Did you make it in 2022, motherfuckers?
Exactly. Exactly.
I looked for that. I was like, okay, where the hell is that? Because I know I did that in 22. But that was in the Patreon. That's why all my good stuff is there.
Yeah, exactly. I have a handful of predictions that led up to this, including Trump having a medical episode, which is what I saw, the assassination attempt, the him looking disheveled in public. All of that, in my mind's eye, what I see, adds up to what is happening at the moment. The same that is currently happening where they've, I'm going to give free information now, but they've, what's her name? Cannon has dismissed the case against Trump.
Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about that
I'm not worried about it, because 6 months ago, I made a prediction that Jack Smith will go to the
11th Circuit.
11th Circuit.
You did.
But I didn't see the bit in between. People have got to understand that we don't see everything. We don't see every dip in the road.
We don't always see the how. We can see the what.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can see the how. It depends. And it depends. For me, some of it would require me to look at 10 or 15 or 20 charts, which is what I do for my clients.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm not going to I don't have enough time in the day. So I'm going to look at something. I'm going to give a general overview and I can then go evaluate.
You can evaluate and pinpoint some opportunity or some
and if I feel prompted and go, let me dive deeper, then I will. The canon thing, like, you don't
she's
even
going
need
to be disbarred.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to come out that she was on a payroll.
Yeah.
Easily. I do not have a birth chart for her. I don't even have a birthday for her.
So if anyone's out there can find that information.
Well, she was born in Colombia or Ecuador. I can't remember. Colombia or Ecuador. So she wasn't born in the States. And so it's not a matter of public record per se.
Right.
Like you can get a birth certificate here. And so, and that her not being born in the States has nothing to do with her not having ethics, just to be clear, people.
Yeah, let's be clear.
Yeah, but I'm not, as a political analyst, I was like, even Jack Smith saw this one coming. He's ready. He's a chess player. He has put war criminals on trial at the International Court of Justice. And if you think it's hard to deal with our system, you try dealing with war criminals from some of those other countries. He's had his life threatened probably way more than one time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I have a lot of faith in him. I don't have birth times, but I know when he was born effectively. And I know the chart makeup. And I went to school with guys like him.
Yeah.
And I know who went on to argue.
We both went to school with guys like him. And we know
you do not mess with them. Yeah. They have no fucks to give other than the law. That is it. They don't care about party. They don't care. They don't care who Trump fucked, as long as he didn't breach national security doing it.
The amount of things that are going to come out between now and October, you think that there's been a lot come out now? There's so much more.
The worms, the cans. It's a lot.
Yeah, and Canon has definitely been promised things.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. There's so many people that have put their faith in Trump to promote their career, promote themselves, and they haven't learned their lesson because he doesn't give a fuck about anyone.
No.
Anyway, that's enough about him because...
But I do want to thank Donald Trump for promoting the growth of my TikTok, Matilda's TikTok, and our Patreon. He is the gift that I will miss him when he's gone.
I will miss him when he's gone.
But don't worry, guys. There's enough natural disasters to freak people out to keep us
2025. 2025. And if you don't know...
Go ahead.
If you don't know, I was going to say Matilda and I. Oh, dear. I don't know.
It's okay, Laurie. It's all right. You've had a hard day.
I've had a hard 24 hours. Laurie and I have an event on the 3rd of August. You can watch the Sassy Seers in action as we predict between August and the end of December on our Sassy Seers event. Link in our show notes.
Link in the show notes. It is important to note that some of what we're going to do is also give advice.
Yes.
Because there's some stuff you want to get ready for with 2025 in a serious way.
Absolutely.
And so we'll be talking predictions. And again, we're both scary in our predictions. Like, we are so accurate. You put us together.
We're even scarier. And there are some videos coming out. We've got a wonderful researcher that is researching all our videos and predictions to make sure that we show you the truth of predictions that we've made in our last event. And as she said, they just keep coming.
Yeah, they just popped from the, like 2 days after the event?
Basically, yeah. 2 days after the
It was
event,
just like
they
boom,
came.
boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
Yeah,
we got
animal.
You animal. It's just boom, boom, boom. But we got trolled on our Sassy Seers account. And I deleted the comment, and this one will make you laugh. Someone said they're just guessing at this point. And it was proof of predictions that had happened. All right? Yeah. So it was already predictions that had happened, and it was like, they're just guessing at this stage. And someone went on and said, yeah, Matilda said the debate wouldn't happen, and it did. I don't trust her anymore. Do you know how many fucking predictions? I just made my whole table. I'm like, is there an earthquake? No, it's my temper. Do you know how many predictions I make that actually happen? The fact that I made a prediction that I didn't think the debate would happen, and I think it was actually down to the last minute.
I do
and
too.
To be perfectly honest with you, was there a debate? Was there a debate?
No, it wasn't.
They may have both been present, but was there a debate? But that's not the
Were
point.
they really present?
The fact that I got judged on one prediction that didn't happen, I am just like,
it's
no
bullshit.
one is 100% accurate.
No one can be, and nobody can be 100% accurate.
And if one more person tells me that I guess,
high.
yeah, I guess. And yeah, I am a bit defensive today, probably because of the trolling that I have received overnight when you open up your phone.
Well, you're a Virgo rising and a Virgo moon.
I feel sensitive.
And you can't tease Virgos. You can't, when my daughter was a little girl, her auntie was very jealous and very mean of her because she'd been the only girl in the family. And then grandmama got her granddaughter.
Right.
And honestly, she was 19. She could have grown the F up. And don't worry, my daughter got her own in at about 3 years old. But deliciously and maliciously so. And I did not punish her because she had nightmares from the teasing. And I would tell my sister-in-law, I'm like, if she bites you, if she hits you, I'm going to let her double down on it. You need to stop teasing her. You can't. You know what she did to get even?
What did she do?
Now, again, she would terrify my daughter. Okay. Nightmares every night. I ended up not letting her go over if her auntie was there. Auntie bought a new duvet. And Sarah saved up her little bladder, and when Auntie teased her, stood up and let loose on the bed. And Grandmama and I were present at the time and went, well, you earned that. Keep teasing her, because that was her only defense. She was a little tiny person.
Well, now I have to find all the people on the internet and pee on their duvets.
Go pee on them. Go pee on their duvets. They're brand new duvets. Go do that, because they'll have earned it. But yeah, that you can't do that to, it's not, because you do care, and you're there doing a public service, for heaven's sake.
And I am totally understanding that being online, it happens, and we open ourselves up to that.
Yeah.
But the last 24, 48 hours have been brutal.
Right. And it's not hard to go walk on by. You don't like something, you can scroll on. But these people are doing it to shut people down. And that's why occasionally I do a clapback. I don't do too many clapbacks because I have other information I want to do.
Yeah. And I don't want my whole page to be clapbacks, although I am good at them.
Yeah, exactly. There's other stuff to do. I think I did my last one today
and it was good. It was good.
Funny. I didn't twerk because I think my kids both follow my account. Yeah. And I think they would be like, Mom, no.
Yeah. So. I one of my kids follows my account, and I get messages saying, you're scary. You're scary. You're only just working this out now. You're 25. Right. I knew what you were doing. I knew what you were up to.
My son used to get so mad. He goes, I can't even rebel against you.
I just let them do it. To be fair, I knew what they were up to, and there are only a couple of times when I thought they were unsafe, and I would have major anxiety. Yeah. And occasionally when I'm picking up global energy, community energy, I will send a message in the group chat and say, can everyone check in? They know just to check in.
Yeah.
Because Mum's got the anxiety.
I've sent out a few
messages
recently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the seismic activity up in the Pacific Northwest,
Yeah,
and my son's
definitely
up there. I'm like, dude, you have your go bag ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to freak you out, but and I just want you to be aware. I'm a little nervous about that. My daughter's home.
Yay!
And I'm very relieved because I have a funky feeling that there might be some stuff going on in that region of the world this week.
Yeah.
Maybe more towards the end of the week, but I was very glad she got back because not that I think where she was at was going to be a problem, but it could have shut down airspace. Yeah. There's too much going on right now. I was like, okay, come back. Get my chickens, all my chickies under my wings.
All your chickies under one roof. Yeah. I do. I remember being overseas at one stage and having to check in on several times because of the anxiety. Mm-hmm. And it was 24 hours after my anxiety that I was trying to get hold of everyone, that something did actually happen. So, yeah, we're not wrong very often.
No. No, and I don't mind being wrong about some things,
Oh, absolutely. I thought things were going to kick off in Paris this weekend. I was convinced.
Yeah, they didn't. I did too.
I saw things.
I'm wondering if things didn't happen that did not get reported because Paris looked like it was going to light up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe outside of Paris.
It could have been.
I still need to do more searches because they're doing a really tight PR because of the Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're being very careful of what they are showing. Mm-hmm. But I warned people to stay away from the centre of Paris.
I did too.
And nothing kicked off. But we're happy that nothing kicked off.
I'm very happy if there wasn't a bomb.
Yeah. It's not that we're, oh, damn, something didn't happen because we predicted it.
But you know what? It could happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
It could happen tomorrow. It may not have been the 14th or 15th. It could be tomorrow when the moon is in opposition because we're recording this on July 15th.
No, we're
Monday.
not. We're recording it on July 16th on Tuesday.
Okay. So future person over there is on a Tuesday. I'm on a Monday afternoon here in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm so behind the times. But yeah, it could be when the moon in Scorpio is in opposition to the Mars and Uranus, which is when I expect things to get really real at the RNC.
Yeah.
And they've got protesters outside. I haven't looked to see, but people have been feeding me my patrons know I don't look at the news. So they send me
I haven't looked. I haven't checked out. Mine told me about who was chosen. And apparently my prediction, not who was chosen, but the name or the way the name said.
Oh, okay.
I had never heard of this person.
They're kind of scary. I'll do JD Vance's chart for my patrons first. I'm not going to put it on TikTok just yet. I'll wait till after the convention for TikTok, but I'll get it out to people.
Yeah, I'm going to do something for Patreons tomorrow with their sort of update of what's going on. I really want to make a video rather than a podcast. So I'm going to do that.
I just recorded a new welcome video.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm many people.
My way. Yeah, I've had so many people. So many people.
It's crazy sauce.
Yeah, it's been crazy busy. So, yeah. Crazy.
Grateful.
But if you have, absolutely. But remember, if you have joined our Patreon, we've got the chats.
We do.
It's great to talk to people in the chats.
Yeah.
I try and pop in there.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of clicks, and so I really encourage everybody to just kind of jump in and say hi. I know maybe some groups you've been in the past, regardless, people be clicky. I don't encourage that in our group.
No,
I encourage everybody to be welcoming. Because we all need each other going forward. There's a lot coming down.
Absolutely. There's a lot going forward, and this is going to be a great support to people. as we move into the end of 24, early 25. The thought that people are saying that by the time the election is over, they're all going to feel safe and secure and warm and fuzzy.
No.
Sorry.
There's so much on the horizon.
Yeah, there is a lot on the horizon.
And I'm going to say, we've both had interesting lives.
Mm-hmm.
Safety is something you create inside of yourself.
Yes, I am very strong on that. I teach it a lot. It's something that I'm going to have a lot of videos going up about that.
Yeah.
Safety is incredibly important to feel yourself and make yourself feel emotionally safe.
Yep.
Given social conditioning, whether that be through parents, teachers, church, whatever.
Media, whatever. Yep.
Sometimes we have to tell ourselves another story in order to get to where we need to go. So emotional safety 100%. Is really important.
Yep. And that's an inside job.
Yeah.
The more you look to outer conditions for it, the harder life is going to be.
Yes. So, if you are waiting for someone to make you feel good about yourself, then you are going to be disappointed throughout your life.
Just kind of like waiting for your children to adore you. You will be forever humbled. They may love you.
Talking about
you may have a hard time getting...
Can I tell you about a message that I received from my child this weekend? So, for those of you that don't know, I am struggling with chronic back pain at the moment. So I'm going through the motions of talking to surgeons, deciding what's going to be done. And very sadly, on Saturday, I had purchased tickets months ago to go to the Australian versus Wales rugby match. Now, I love rugby. I've followed international rugby my whole life. And plus, on top of that, I love Welsh singers, which you always get at the rugby.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, it was going to be very, very, very cold and a 2-hour drive there and a 2-hour drive back. So I had to make the decision that it was just not going to happen. So I gave the ticket to my ex-husband, who took our eldest child. And my son sent me a message at 1:23 a.m. Obviously, they'd just gotten back. Hi, I had heaps of fun. Thank you for buying the tickets and having a crook back. I love you, Mum.
That's about right.
So, yes, I got thanked for having a crook back.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. But he had fun.
That's good.
And that's the main thing. I don't think I've taken Ollie to the rugby since he was about 12.
Oh, okay.
And we went to see Australia, England.
Oh.
Sweet. It's sweet. So you're off on a road trip this week.
I am.
Woohoo!
I am.
Love a
by
good
myself.
Road trip.
By myself. Me and my Sagittarius and Mars hitting the road.
You need some space, some time, some breathing space, but you get to spend your birthday with your mummy.
I do. I do not remember the last time. We really literally cannot remember the last time I celebrated my birthday around them because I went no contact for so many years. So
very happy for you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's a hard-won relationship. And there's certainly subjects we do not discuss, nor does anyone try. So it's like that where there's very good rules in place in this relationship. Like I said, it's hard won. And as a Cancerian, you know, these were all very difficult things to do and go through because family is like my everything.
Yeah.
So it really is. I mean, everything I do has to do with family in some way, including the human family. You know, I don't have to like everybody in my family to care about them. But I got us exploding cakes.
Ooh.
The
Can't wait to
surprise
see the
ones.
video.
Oh my God. I got my dad one that sings. And I hope it did. I hope it's the song. I think I chose the song right. I'm not sure on the order, but I got him the one like, "Hey, it's your birthday." You know, the shorty birthday song.
Oh yeah, short. I love that song. Yeah,
yeah. He's short.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Well, he's 5'8", which is incredibly tall. And my mom is 4'11", but I got her the very pretty one with
Jesus,
the
she stopped
flowers.
growing.
It's weird because her oldest brother, Uncle Ronnie, who the FBI caught up with on the day of his funeral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was not necessarily a good man, but he was 6'7". He was 6'7".
Isn't it funny how height works in a family?
My mom was the youngest. We
Right.
think that Grandma probably ran out of steam with Mom. So she's short. But mighty, do not mess with that. Okay, true story. So they live in Wyoming,
Right.
which is a very conservative space, although their town is less so. Like there are people from marginalized communities who don't get harassed. Right? Okay. Doesn't mean everybody's friends, but it's more like live and let live. I'm not saying it's progressive, but it's not like in the southern part of the state where it's just not safe to be. So there was this cowboy Trump supporting guy at the Elks Club, and the Elks Club is like a fraternal organization my mom and dad have belonged to since I was a kid, because a lot of firefighters belong to it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And this is, oh my God, like 4 years ago. Anyway, this guy wouldn't shut up about Trump. And my 4'11" mother grabbed a broom and started screaming, "Get out of here, you Trump-loving pussy." I mean, she is
oh my
tiny.
God.
And she did not swear when I was a child, but she swears like a sailor now. And she got censured by the law for being political because you're not allowed to be partisan. Okay.
Right. Okay.
At all. No one is. And they would have censured him. But she went after, he wouldn't come back. He was afraid of her.
Good.
And she said, next time it's a gun and not a broom.
I think that we should get a whole line of 4'11" women with brooms.
I think so.
Around Trump, and he would be scared.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, my son, who is 6'3", loves to say there's nothing that terrifies him more than a short, angry woman.
Yep.
He's like,
absolutely.
that's all I was raised around.
Yep.
But I was never more proud. My mom is an actual leftist. So my dad is not. My dad's he's a centrist. But
I think it's really funny how height works in a family, because my grandmother on my father's side was 4'11". All right. She had my father. He was 11 pound.
Oh, Jesus, God, have mercy.
11 pound.
Oh, my God. Oh.
And she didn't
my nether reasons hurt thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. She didn't have another child for 9 years, which is unheard of in Ireland.
Right.
And I don't know how much his sister weighed, but...
Wow.
My dad's 5'7", and he's slight. He's very, very slight. And my mum was about 5'8". And I always had a trouble with my height because I'm 5'6", 5'5", 5'6". And I felt really tall if I was around the cousins from my father's side, because they never reached 5 foot.
Right.
But the cousins from my mother's side, the female cousins, are all 5'10", 5'11".
Right.
They're all really tall. So I never quite, like, I'm in between. I think 5'5", 5'6" is normal.
Yeah, you're taller than me. I'm 5'4", 5'5" on a good day. It depends on how my hair is did.
Yeah, so I feel tall, but I'm not.
I do too, because my mom's 4'11", my dad's 5'8". I've been this height since I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And so I was, and my grandma, my dad's mom was like 5 feet. Her husband was 5'2". They were short people, but his brother was like 6 foot. So we have like, you're either short or you're tall. So to be medium height is weird.
Yeah, it's just weird. My brother, I've got 3 brothers, and one of them is 5'7", and then the other 2 is 6 foot and 6'1".
Yeah.
So it's really, really bizarre, but I have a fetish for tall men.
I used to, but my beau is, I mean, he's still taller than me. I think he's maybe 5'10".
Right.
But both of my marriages, they were very tall. But
Yeah, I just have this thing about a tall man. But I have big feet. What size are your feet?
they are large compared to the rest of my families. So
Okay.
I am indeed like a hobbit.
Uh-huh. Yes.
My brother loves to call me a hobbit.
Yep. Uh-huh. I get called a hobbit all the time.
Yep.
I have a size 10 foot.
I don't remember the correlation. Mine's like 9.5 in US sizes.
Right, which is about the same.
Okay.
10. I'm a 10, 9.5.
But I swear they've changed. Well, no, feet continue to grow.
Do they?
Or they change sizes. Like they widen. Mine are
Right.
still very narrow, but in the heel anyway.
Yes. There is a reason I have big feet. I would topple over if I did not have big feet.
Oh,
there are parts of my body that stick out, shall we say. And I would topple over if I did not have big feet.
I think it's good I have big feet for that reason, because my derriere is aplenty. I don't have a lot of buxom.
Right. I am very buxom.
Once again, I swear we're like the same person, but different parts of us.
Molded into people, the one person. But yeah, I have big feet, and it's always been, I've been teased about having big feet my whole life.
I know. My daughter calls me Peggy Hill, and I don't know
Peggy
if you've
Hill?
ever... So there's this show called King of the Hill. It's like a cartoon. You can look it up on YouTube. And Peggy Hill is known for her big size 10s.
Okay.
She's the mom in the show. She's like, okay, Peggy Hill. I'm like, shut up.
Well, I go to shoe shops and they all gather around and laugh. It's...
That's so
do you
mean.
think we're going to have this really sexy shoe in your size? But, funny story. When I worked at the cemetery, I was on the reception desk, and we had a funeral of a drag queen.
Oh.
Okay. And so the congregation were all drag queens. They came fully dressed, fully glam. And I think they're amazing. The way that they can do their makeup, etc. Anyway, and we sat in the front desk and we have it on camera so we can see what's going on, making sure that, when they start coming out, we have refreshments ready, because it used to be where you could have the wake as well.
Oh, right.
And my colleague turns around to me and says, there you go and ask them where they buy their shoes.
Actually, I had a friend who did that, because her feet, she's like in an American size 11. And so she'd be like, I'll just go look it up. I hear Buff. We'll let Buff be on here. Fine, Buff. So we show up, whether we're sick or in pain or having a shitty day. It's rare we miss sessions. And if we do, it's for good reason.
I missed one on Sunday.
Well, Jesus, Sunday was crazy.
It slipped my mind completely. It was one session in the afternoon. My calendar for July was my old assistant had set it up, which is why she is my old assistant. Because these sessions are just all over the place.
And she was a little bit priceless in the wrong direction.
Definitely. And July just... Yeah, on a Sunday, I had one session for 7 p.m. and we'd had a full-on day. We'd had a very full-on day. It was like people were on my Patreon going, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Right. I know.
I was asleep.
I was having, because it was my Saturday, and I was having a quiet day.
Right. Yes.
And then my phone started blowing up. And I'm like, oh, shit.
What's happened?
But unlike normally, where I just get my phone blowing up and my TikTok doesn't do anything, I was like, holy shit. It's blowing up.
Yes.
I think the person who used to be like my minder on there who choked the living daylights out of me got fired or something.
They must have done.
The latest update opened up that algorithm a little bit. So
yeah, it has for me as well. But Amanda, who is on my Patreon because she has access to everything, said that she was watching us on live and all she heard was ping, 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 ping on the emails to show that people had joined Patreon because we went live, but
we had 900 people on that.
I know.
Live. I've never had 900 people on a live.
It was pretty big.
Yeah, it was
and
cool.
It was overwhelming a little bit.
It was.
And it was because I messaged my mods and said, we're going to go live. Are you going to be up to it? You know, because it's going to be a bit mad. And they all said, yep. But it was a bit crazy. And I lost the day. So that's what happened I turned around. It was 5 o'clock. I spoke to you and I said, I haven't even eaten.
Yeah, no, you hadn't.
I hadn't even had breakfast. So I threw something in the oven and ate it and thought, oh, my God, I need a bath. Ran a bath. And all of a sudden I get this, we had a session an hour ago and you didn't show up. Is everything okay? I've gone, fuck.
Right.
I sent her a voucher.
It's just kind of like that, though. Yeah,
I did the session. I did the session, but I sent her a voucher for next year and said, look, I'm really sorry. I don't like missing.
No, I don't either.
If I'm sick, I will. And recently I've sort of moved a few around, obviously, because they're like, some are really weird. And I released October last week. There is not an appointment to be had.
Well, good for you.
So I'm deciding what I'm going to do at the moment with September. But we will see.
I know, because it's so up in the air.
It's also up in the air, and I'm not going to bore people because I'm sure they're sick of hearing about it. But if I don't have surgery, then I will just move. Give people the option to move it into September.
I'm going to do some shorter workshops.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty booked out on my readings, and I don't want to open up more time on readings right now. Because I need to guard my energy, and I want to be able to serve more people. The one-on-ones are great, and don't get me wrong, I love doing it. But only so many people can do that. So I'm trying to think of ways I can support more people.
And it's supporting the people that can't necessarily afford a full reading, but giving them access to us in some way. And I'm thinking about doing a couple of short courses. I'll do the Law of Attraction again because that was a hit with a lot of people. And I think I'm going to do a self-love, self-concept one for people that can ask questions. As well.
I know I'm definitely going to do the Healing the Money Wound again.
Yeah, that's been really
your
successful
astrology.
for you. Yeah.
It's been, and it's using your own astrology to understand. And it's not just money, but this. Every time I name something, it's to get people's attention, right? That's it. It's so much deeper than money.
Yes.
But it's for you to understand your own needs and that are very unique to you and how to address that.
I think I need to do that one.
That one, I got to throw it to you. I think you'll really love that. It's beautiful. I am so pleased because I've got success stories coming in now for people doing, because there's a process and a method for each of the Venus signs. And it's simple. You don't have to be an expert astrologer. We're just using, there's very little astrology for people to know. You know, so it's more like identify it and then here's what you do with it. And I've decided to start doing more stuff like that because
I think that's great.
Not everybody's going to be an astrology takes a long time to learn to be good at, and it takes a lot of practice. So you can intellectually understand things and be pretty fair, but it takes years of practice to have like a depth and breadth. And I'm like, people just need the information of what do I do? Like, if I know this about myself, then how do I use that? And that's what I'm trying to offer. So I'm going to have some stuff on that. I just have to have time, and I think I'm going to figure it out on the road trip where I won't have distractions, as you will know.
That's the amazing thing. I will often, and I think I'm going to do this pretty soon, book myself into a really nice hotel with room service. It gives me an opportunity to do my paperwork, create some courses. I'm doing some recording for some things on my Patreon at the moment that are about spirituality, some deep dives, things that people can click on if they feel the need. I'm recording some meditation because you said you recorded meditation yesterday.
I did. I had Summer asked. I know she listens to us. She's in your Patreon too.
Oh, hi Summer. So I'm going to be recording some really good and different uses meditations that I think that will be handy for people moving forward. So
we're gonna gear everybody up.
There's a lot of time. So that's, if I don't end up having surgery and I'm doing this myself, I may well just keep that time to create content.
Absolutely. Sorry.
Because I think it's needed.
I agree. It is. Well, it's 100% needed.
Especially moving into next year, we are looking at
a lot. As everybody who did the 2025 year ahead with me knows, and as they said, look at read the user chat on the recording, because if you don't, you're going to get really depressed really fast. There is, and I cannot count how many times I would stop and go and just look in the camera and go, it's going to be okay.
It works
out. It's just a lot, but it will be okay, because I don't want to put anybody in such an awful headspace. Like I said, I never got to chocolate fudge brownie cookies, but it got real close.
Yes, I have only really dived into the start of the year, and what I saw, and you have clarified a little bit. But I will be doing my 2025 an overview. Remember, I don't see things as Laurie does. I will be doing my overview in early December. I think for me to do it any sooner, it's just not worth it.
No, you don't need to. No, I do mine because astrology is the art of reading the cosmic clock. And so I'm showing my astrological skill, just kind of like Colin Trump's assassination thing back in 2022 for this time. That's showing the astrological. But if I was using my intuition and doing the psychically, I would wait. I would. I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't need to.
See, the people have got to be very understanding that the predictions that I see, I don't necessarily get exact timing on as well. I saw stuff last year that is happening now.
Yeah.
And you've got to be open to that.
Just in my personal life, because I am psychic, as my old neighbor used to say. She was an old lady. Are you psychic? But I have had visions of things, and then it realizes years and years later. Like, it's not about timing, like my chair. I saw that chair in my mind's eye. It bugged me. That's how that's how I know it's either my higher guidance or something. It's a true intuitive message, because I'll get a visual in my head and it's persistent. And it was like, this chair was in my head. I'm like, okay, so I need to get a wingback chair. Okay, cool. Would love to afford one. Couldn't, And so I kept looking and looking and looking. And I just, anytime I saw one, it wasn't it. And then a friend of mine's dad had passed. And I went to check on her in Facebook because she was in her early 30s. Very powerful witch. And I mean, like, not Glinda the Good Witch either. Very powerful being. And so I went, but she was in a lot of grief. And so I went to check on her. And the first thing I saw was that chair on Facebook Marketplace. And it was hers. That was her great grandmother's chair.
Amazing.
And so I drove out in the middle of the lockdowns. The only thing I did, I ran to Vegas, grabbed the chair, came back to LA. Yeah. Before TikTok.
Yeah. Well, I got my chair this 2 weeks ago. And I had in my head that I wanted a black velvet chair. I wasn't copying you, but I just had this. And my son Charlie and I were... What was that?
We love a good rich velour.
Yes, a nice rich velour. And Charlie and I, my son, were exchanging photographs and pictures. But mine hadn't been... I hadn't seen mine. I had 10 years ago, my friend Will, that used to be incredibly psychic. Like, he could tell you what color knickers you had on. He was amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
And he said, you are going to drop a shit ton of money. He was Irish, so those were his words, on a chair. And it'll be blue. All right? And I'm like looking for this black wingback chair. I went to one place, and it was a small business in where I live. And I wanted to support an independent trader.
Right.
But she was so rude to me.
Oh, yes.
She was terribly rude. And I walked out of there and I was all flustered and angry. So I drove to another shop that sells French provincial stuff. And she was so helpful. And she had me sit in the chair and take pictures of me in different chairs.
Oh, I love it.
I didn't like the aesthetic. And I sat in this giant, fluffy blue armchair. And I went, this is just, it's the most comfortable chair I've ever bought.
I love that.
You can't see a lot of it on camera at the moment, but I will change the angle, because every time I've gone live, I haven't had much time to think about.
No, it's just been a hopping on.
It's been quick. But yes, I have my chair in what is now my new studio, which is, I got rid of my reformer because I couldn't use it.
Right.
And my son built me the most amazing dressing table this weekend.
Aww, I love that.
So I have a little bit of a studio where I just need to get some decorations from behind the chair.
Right.
And it'll be done.
There we go.
So yeah. So my chair was predicted.
Yes, it was.
But I ignored his, and a lot of his, so talk back to that prediction side of things.
Right.
Will made a lot of predictions about my life for 10 years ago, and he is somebody that could just reel them off. Unfortunately, he doesn't work as a psychic anymore, but he used to just reel off these predictions.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff has come through in this year that he predicted 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not always about the timing, you know, especially psychic predictions. And
well, sometimes you actually have to make movements in that direction, or you have to do that self-concept side of things before certain things happen. Well, the same goes,
though, with an astrological prediction, though, too. Like, on a personal level, I can tell somebody they have good timing, but if all they do is sit on their ass at home, the best thing to do is find $5 in a couch cushion, you know. So it's people who just sit there and do nothing are going to get exactly what they put into play.
And
but
I'm really
before we go ahead,
sorry, go on. My own podcast. I just want to mention that Beyond the Broomstick is on hiatus at the moment. I'm just having a couple of weeks off. Series 2, is it series? It's not series, is it? It's something else. Season 2 is starting next week. I just wanted to work out where it was going and what I was going to be talking about. So I've taken a couple of weeks off. Yeah. But my first episode on that is about that superficial spirituality, where people have to listen and not just take the prediction. They've actually got to make an action to do it.
100%. Yeah. Well, and this is the end of season 1 of Sassy Seers, because we're going to reorganize. And we're going to continue keeping this fun and light, or at least cranky.
Cranky is a word that I would use at the moment.
Yeah, but we're going to keep that because we need a place to blow off steam. We know you guys need a place to blow off steam.
Yes.
And we'll build that. We're going to start a Patreon, guys. And it's just going to have one tier. But we came up with a good idea.
Did we? Can you remind me what that good idea was? Because
our little
I don't
ebook.
remember.
I'm going to do a layout for you. And when you see it's a bit naughty.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to do an OnlyFans book. No, we are going to be...
Bounce your boobies, swing them high and low.
Mine don't swing high anymore.
I can't even tie mine in a bow. They're too little.
Yes, we are going to be... Yeah, it's going to be a funny ebook. Okay.
It is.
It's going to be a funny ebook. And so we've got that. We are doing a Patreon. It'll be one basic tier. It won't be extravagant.
No.
And it's to help us support for the podcast and
social media help for Sassy Seers. We pay for subscriptions to do this. So.
We do. We pay for a significant amount of subscriptions, and we actually pay for someone to help us do some stuff. Because we're both a little bit busy. But yes, that's what we're doing. So next time I speak to you, we'll be doing this in Wyoming.
Yeah. Give me land, lots of land, neath the starry, starry skies.
I think Laurie is just wanting to sing at the moment. We're going to see her on stage.
I sing the whole road trip. Oh, I spent too much time on stage. I like being on stage. I do. I mean, as far as being a singer. And after I'm done being an astrologer, or maybe concurrently, at some point, I will be a lounge singing comedy act.
Oh, I like that idea. I can't sing, but I was on stage. So we are two of the same people. Indeed. I was on stage as a dancer. So
there you go. See, I can't dance.
I was not a lap dancer. There was no poles involved. But yes, I worked the West End for some of my university years.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, I was never going to be the star of any show. But I just think my back's so fucked.
Right, that's true. Well, dancing takes it out.
Yes, it is. Yeah. All right, then.
All righty.
So, thank you very much for joining me today. Or
Thank you, madam.
Or doing this in the time that I said, I've got an hour from
it worked
this
perfect
time.
Because I'm actually alone right now. So,
that doesn't happen.
This Scorpio rising is so peopled out. But anywho, listeners, check the show notes. You want to sign up because we've had a lot of people sign up for that event on August 3rd.
Oh my gosh, that is massive. Yeah,
I think we're gonna sell out if people don't grab it. You're gonna miss out. So
so you have to jump into that as quickly as you can. You and I will be doing a TikTok live sometime in the next week.
Yeah, even if I have to do it from a hotel room, I don't care. So I'm excited to just get the F out of here.
Yes. Good for you.
I love everybody here. Don't get me wrong, but I am peopled out and dogged out. I need quiet.
No, I totally understand it. And I don't have the amount of people and dogs around me that you do. But for goodness sake, my children just turn up whenever they want.
Yeah.
The other day I was on live and I had Oliver ringing me, turning up, the dog going mad. It was just like madness.
It's very stressful.
Well, I love my kids and I love the fact that they can, and they have keys so they can just walk in.
Absolutely.
Apart from when he sent me through the roof, I was in the middle of a reading and I just saw this figure glide past me where I was sat, and he had let himself in to use my bathroom because the site that he was working on had no toilet.
Oh, no.
And it was around the corner. So he let himself in, walked through the kitchen, and I'm on the kitchen sofa, my blind side to the door.
Right.
And he just walked through and I screamed. This poor person that was having a reading with me thought that I'd been attacked by a spirit. And then he jumped and he said, I texted you. I'm in a reading. I don't touch my other phone when I'm in a reading.
No, I don't either. Yeah.
So, yeah. But I love having them around. The fact that they've cleaned me out of food because I send food home with them. They're adults. What is that?
That's normal. My grandma used to do that too.
Well, my son asked me the other day, can I have something other than pumpkin soup? Could you make chicken and sweet corn soup?
Squeeze us.
And have I? Yes, I did.
Of course.
Well, no, actually, I'm in the middle of making it. I realised I didn't have ginger. I don't know how I always have ginger. Don't know where that's gone. But yeah, I just need to.
I went to
Costco
Costco again, and I've got a guest,
yeah,
So,
food will be walking out the door.
Yeah, which is fine. That's why I buy it. I like to feed people, so that I never complain about. It's literally just being like the interruptions. And so it's being able to work uninterrupted other than readings. Like people get the readings. They don't get all the recording I have to do.
No, exactly the same. It's not, they don't understand all the recording. They don't understand certain, that we need that downtime. Sometimes it gets a bit much. And we have another puppy coming into the family. And who do you think is going to be looking after that?
See, I will move without a forwarding address at that point. I am so, I can't caretake one more thing right now. I am done. I am done. I am at my end.
Yes, that's why I ran away to England a few years ago.
Yeah.
I just ran away and spent a year there. I was done caretaking.
At 55, with no real breaks in caretaking.
It's time. You need a break.
I desperately need a break. And it's understood now because they're like, it's not personal.
Yeah.
It isn't because I don't love anybody. But I am done. Tapped out. No more. The milk is dry. She's done. Cow needs to go out to pasture. Done. Send me to the glue factory. Done.
Yeah.
It's like done. It's a lot. And so I just want to do my work in the world. And I spent so much time being conscious and raising my kids and making sure the world had awesome people. And I didn't always focus on what I needed to do. And here we are. And I know what's coming. And my work has to take the priority at this point. Because
our work needs to take the priority.
Yes,
I said to you yesterday.
Yeah.
I said to you yesterday, I need that bar in the swimming pool. I just
you do.
Want to sit in a swimming pool and drink cocktails and sit beside it and read my book. I don't need to sightsee. I don't need company.
No.
I just want to do that.
Yeah.
That may be my scepter because I just think we're not going to get a break from the end of this year. We have to be prepared.
October blows shit up, man.
Yeah.
It's just so big.
We need to be prepared as human sacrifices.
Kind of. I don't see us getting less busy, Matilda.
No, I don't see us getting
and
less
I think
busy.
we need to take these moments, like even though it's crazy right now, it's not as crazy as it will be, and we need to take this and just
we need to prepare ourselves. So I think I may be booking a holiday very soon.
That sounds good. And if I show up in Australia, I'll join you.
I've got somebody asked me today on social media, how many spare rooms do you have? No, they asked how many beds. I've got lots of dog beds. I'm sorry, but I do have a spare room. I'm going to put Laurie's name on the door.
That may just happen. I'll be like, that's it. I'm out of here. Come find me in Australia.
It's not that hard to fly here, seriously.
I want a wombat.
You want a wombat?
I want a wombat.
Oh, they're so cute.
And where's the Australia Zoo where like Steve Irwin?
It's a long way away from me.
I'm going to go there anyway. Did you know his
good road trip? We could do a road trip there.
We could. His wife is from my state.
I didn't know that.
We grew up in the same state.
That's amazing.
She's from Oregon. That's why she's cool.
We could do a road trip there.
We could.
We could do an amazing road trip from where I am. It would take about 5 days.
Okay. All right.
But we could do a road trip. I love a good road trip.
I'm about to drive 3 days because I don't drive at night. So it'll be about a 3-day drive.
I've done 3-day trips with 2 kids to Queensland. And it's a bit further than it's northern. I don't know. Someone's going to come on here and correct my geography because they always fucking do. But if you want to take your time and see things, it's 5 days. All right?
All right.
Especially if you want to go the coast road.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm not getting in that water. I don't want to deal with the sharks. So.
You're more worried about the stingrays than the sharks.
Don't want to deal with that either.
Talking of Australia Zoo.
Yeah.
Or the jellyfish. jellyfish. I think it's jellyfish that we'd have to worry about. Honestly, geography and obviously science are not my strong points.
See, I grew up fishing with my grandpa and my dad. My grandfather was a commercial fisherman in the summer, and my dad did as well. And when I was a kid, I would go out with them and help. I was about 12, and my dad let me navigate the boat and pilot the boat. And we were about, 5 miles off the coast. And this is the North Pacific. This is not, it's not shallow water.
Right.
But there was a bloom of jellyfish that died. And I was already feeling queasy because you're a Gen Xer. If your dad said, keep your eye on the compass and don't take your eye off it, what did you do?
You kept your eye on the compass.
Or
that's akin to holding the torch whilst he's screwing something in.
Right, exactly. So I've got the boat and my eye does not leave that compass. And of course, it was a fairly calm day. That's why Dad was letting me do it, right? And I don't get sick in rough weather. I get sick in calm. The rocking. And I started with, and we had to stop the boat. We had to stall the boat because seals had gotten into the fishing lines. And so my dad and his fishing partner were untangling lines. And I was like, Dad. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm going to be sick. And Dad was like, then go be sick, right? Because he can't not untangle these lines. There are really sharp hooks. He's in the middle of it. I come running by, hand him my glasses. I'm like, take the glasses. Go to heave over, and there's all these dead jellyfish, and I couldn't stop. I hate jellyfish with a passion. They make me want to, yeah.
Not nice.
No. That was life in the good old Northwest. You wonder why I am the way I am, people.
It was the Northwest.
It was the Northwest. She's made for apocalypses. Anyway. Apocalypse.
Right. I have to go because I have an appointment.
You do. Go be well.
Talk to you soon.
Alrighty, take care.
Bye, everyone.
Check the show notes.
Absolutely.